Hello, beautiful beings of light. I hope you all are well. Oh my gosh, I am so happy to be recording this message. I don't know about you guys, but the energy for me, the intensity of this energy has just been absolutely, I'm just speechless, I suppose. It's been so many things all juxtaposition against one another. And right now, as I'm recording this, we're on the eve of this micro moon, this full moon in Libra, which is bringing a spotlight to our microcosms in our world. We're in the midst of Aries energy, which at its if you boil it all down into just one word would be desire. And we're seeing on a world stage how desire plays out in a dense bandwidth, and also, how desire has an exalted frequency, and that's available to us as well. So we have all this desire building up inside of us, and we are being asked to look at all the systems in our lives, most of which have been completely leveled or have had a breakdown or a severing of some kind. This bifurcation process is underway, and we have a choice now to become experts in a dying field of consciousness or step into something completely and totally new. And in order for the universe to make way for that, massive transformations have been happening. So if your life is a shit show, congratulations, you have leveled up. You have leveled up. Because the collective zeitgeist, if you will, has elected this year to expose its shadow. Okay. And in exposing its shadow, it allows the light of awareness to shine upon it. And that opens a doorway at the higher end of the bandwidth for hope and healing and miraculous intervention and the peace that surpasses all understanding. And I myself have tapped into this golden timeline energy through the pressure of the absolute dismantling of my own personal reality and lived experience. And if you were to look at it through an outside lens, I have no business through the eyes of the material world to be feeling the way that I'm feeling. And yet I do. More and more moments of bliss, joy, peace, happiness are stepping forward as a more permanent state in my lived experience, despite the fact that everything has been turned upside down. And overnight, I was placed in a timeline where everything changed. And my responsibilities to life in the material world increased exponentially to the point where I have no conscious way of knowing how I will achieve what's in front of me. And yet I'm not looking at this as a tower moment in grief and sorrow, and it's the exact opposite experience. It's, how do I face this in self-mastery? Where is the opportunity in this? What does this open doorways for? And that feeling of spontaneity and magic, and of that energy of the Fool, which, if you read my essay the other day, and I'll be discussing that, we're beginning over again this hero's journey, this cycle of the Tarot. And with that energy of the Fool comes the wisdom of our lived experience before, but with the eyes of the childlike spirit, willing to say, I don't know anything. I'm stepping forward into the great mystery, into the great unknown, and I'm not sure what's ahead of me. But whatever is ahead of me, I have the wisdom from my past experience, and I know that I can handle and manage that. I know that the universe is taking care of me. I know that the only thing I have control over is my perspective. And I know that the peace that surpasses all understanding is available to me in any given now moment. And I don't have to rehearse that. I've lived that. I've done that. I've done the years of affirmations and visualizations and directing and controlling, and essentially learning how to manage my perspective, learning about the laws of the universe, digging into my own shadow work, and welcoming all those aspects back home and integrating them now into the total self, where I'm more frequently than not residing in the higher mind and the higher heart, in unison, in concordance with the universe at large. And so therefore, all I need to do now is surrender. And look for the peace within. Because it's very prevalent now, again, with this idea of Aries and desire and its lower dimensionality, the war, the duality, the false dichotomy, right? The personification of the lack matrix. That is clear. But my peace is not found arguing about duality. My peace is found in totality, in 0 point, in the now, in stillness, in embracing our fate, and doing the best we can in any given now moment. And everything else will unfold as it should. Because now we're learning how to navigate beyond the 5 senses. We're learning how to navigate in flow. And we understand that our frequency precedes us, and that it is our one and only job at this time, which is to manage our frequency. And allow whatever is in store to unfold. And there are amazing things unfolding. I've seen multiple examples in family and friends and recounting from others of vast shifts in awareness, in long-standing cycles coming to a close. These things want to heal. Okay, we're in a whole new energy paradigm. These thought forms, lower archetypal energy structures that have been playing out for eons, they are taking their final bow. And only we can keep them alive now. Only we can choose to bring them with us. And we are not going to achieve peace globally if we're still warring within. And there's a real richness that comes through these experiences, through these breakdowns, through these severings, through these departures in our lives, because it opens up a space in the higher heart for vulnerability. There's a real softness available on the planet at this time. And of course there is, because we are still living in a density of duality. So whatever is happening on the densest end of the threshold is also happening on the lightest. And we can infuse and synthesize these higher density energies now into these very heavy shifts and transformations. There's a real sense of camaraderie and community and of loving one another through our wounds. And that is a predominant experience that will be interwoven into all of the chaos and destruction and dismantling of the lack matrix. I mean, ultimately, we still have to live within this crumbling world at this time, and we still have to navigate that. And the best way we can do that is by bearing the torch, holding the grid, lighting the way, and loving everyone through it. Just loving them through it. If you're sharing this frequency with me, then you'll know that the work that we're doing at this time is integrating and harmonizing the higher aspects of our divine masculine and feminine energies in their exalted state. And so many masculines, those that identify as predominantly divine masculine, are having the lived experience now of having to work with and integrate their divine feminine energy. And many of us that identify as predominantly divine feminine energy are now having to integrate our exalted divine masculine energy. And in order to step into the total self, we're bringing that into this state of synthesis. And this is a theme that will be ongoing until we learn how to be in flow with both of these energies simultaneously, bringing forth what's needed in any given now moment, whether that's, the masculine actioning, doing, or the feminine receiving, giving, and learning how to let those step forward and back in this ongoing dance with these new aspects of ourselves that we get to explore. And that is going to take time to learn this entirely new reality, this entirely new lived experience, this entirely new blueprinted template that's been absolutely rewired and redistributed and reworked onto this new paradigm of existence. It will take some time to really be able to embody unity consciousness, union of the twin within. But we've just now moved out of these massive retrograding energies, which was all about revising and reworking and, rethinking, reimagining. And we've been halted all the way through this now, into this now, from taking any action, from moving from that 0 to a 1, from the idea to springing forth into creation as we now move truly into the new calendar year, into spring in the Northern Hemisphere. Things are going to begin to spring forward. And as we're speeding up, it's just going to continue to speed up. And if you're anything like me, your life is already at max speed. And all you can do is surrender and hold on for the ride. And learn how to flow in an entirely new way with the universe at large, with your lived experience, with your new reality. And this full moon energy, this micro moon energy, is going to illuminate the past systems, the microcosmic systems within our bodies. And it's going to take our bodies a little bit of time to catch up. I'm having this experience where I'm really having to talk to my body and calm my nervous system, because sometimes the energy is too much. It's electric. It's just like blowing a fuse over and over and over again. So we have to learn how to calm our nervous systems, become more regulated within our nervous systems, knowing when to sit back and when to take action. You know, the masculine, the divine masculine energy, those that are predominantly divine masculine. I'm not talking about the avatar's sex. I'm talking about energy. Awakens from the bottom up, which is why their now focus is on the heart and upwards. And with the divine feminine, we awaken from the top down. And so now we're learning how to move in the physical world, how to take action in the physical world, how to really own our new bodies and see what they can do, you know. And that's going to take some time. You're an entirely different version of yourself. You are rising through the ash of annihilation. You are dancing after death. We are dancing after death. And we're these little newborn babies, and we're going to mess it up, and we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to try stuff, and some things are going to work and some things aren't. But the best way you can embrace this chaos and destruction all around is to view it from a place of self-mastery, view it from a place of opportunity. You know, that's what I'm doing in my lived experience. I'm saying, okay, universe, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. This is beyond what my prior templating has ever been able to achieve before. Show me how to adapt. Show me how to adapt. Guide me where to go next. Place someone in my path that can assist me in the things that feel beyond me. And short of that, help me to surrender and be okay with it being a mess. And so in this full moon energy, what can you release and let go of that you're still clinging desperately onto? Because if you're exchanging energy with me, you've made it to a healing frequency. We're here. It's happening. And you might tell me you're having struggles with your body. You might tell me you're having struggles with your energy. You might tell me you've lost a relationship, or someone passed away, or everything's crumbled around you. And I will tell you still that you are on a healing frequency. That this is the new journey of a golden timeline. And all that you need to do now is relax into that and surrender. Allow the peace that surpasses all understanding to wash over you. And short of that, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to rage out and scream in a pillow, do it. Let out whatever remnants and dredges of the past are still clinging on to you. Let that wash away. For a new day is dawning, and you have arrived. You have arrived. I'm sending you all big, 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 big love. Bye. Take its time, find its place. We'll be fine.
Just wanted to say I love ya. Scully loves ya. Bye.